Star copies all. Go ahead. Message to observer. Alpha 3 rounds. AT delay in effect. 3 guns. Bravo 2 rounds. 2 guns. Smoke on effect.
What's up, guys? Andrew coming at you with another video from the Options Millionaire educational series. This video is one that I'm excited to make. It's one I've been thinking about it for a long time, and it covers a question that I get asked all the time. It's actually one of the most frequented questions that I get, and that is, how do I let profits run, capture that monster win? It seems to be something that everyone wants to discuss, and it appears to be the holy grail of day trading because it's frequent and not all that relatively hard to get the 5 and 10% wins. In fact, I hang my hat on 5, 10, 12, 15% wins. In fact, when at the end of every month, when I judge my wins, there's 4 categories in which my wins want to fall into. One of them is big wins, of which I want 1 to 2 a month. Those are the ones that make your month. The 30%ers, the 50%ers. The second category is lots of small wins, 5, 10%ers, 15%ers, 12%ers, a lot of those. The third category is small losses. You're going to have small losses, and the whole reason why I want to have a few small losses is because I want to focus on keeping them small. That's the focus here, is small losses. And then, of course, the fourth category is big losses, of which I want none. The 40% losses, the 50% losses, I want none of those. So the main question is, how do I know when to hold a winner long enough for it to get a 30% or 50% win? Yes, you made a great entry. Fantastic. You're now looking at a 10% win, 12% win. You start to get scared. You start to feel their heart racing a little faster. You start to see maybe a red candle forming. You think, oh man, if I don't sell now, it's going to dump and I'm going to lose my money. And some of the times you may be right, but you need to be focused enough. You need to be disciplined enough and educated enough to know when to hold that position to a 30% and 50% win. It doesn't happen all the time, but you need to be astute enough to identify the situation when to hold that. And that's the purpose of this video. We'll go ahead and dive right into this. I'm going to set up the trades here and talk about the entries. However, the focus is going to be on the exit, not necessarily the entry. But we'll go ahead and set up the trade. It was July 9th, 2021. The previous day, we just had a pretty hard sell-off and a V-type recovery. And then in pre-market conditions, which you can see here, we had this little gap up. It traded sideways in pre-market conditions, and then right at the bell, ding, 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 it bounced, went up, and stuck here. You see the yellow dots here, which is the top of our morning session ranges, which, sidebar, I have a very great video on these session ranges. I'll link it in the description. I highly recommend you go take a look at that video after you watch this one, the morning session ranges. So anyway, the price sticks right here to the morning session ranges. Volume starts to decline. You got the buyers and sellers intertwining in and out, and the price sticks right here for about an hour, from 9:03 Central to about 10 o'clock. So roughly about an hour. It just sticks here. I don't really know what I'm going to do. And in about 2 minutes time, I went from not being decided on what I'm going to do to having full conviction and taking a position. And I'll lay out how that happened. First of all, I've got my first rule of thumb is market awareness. The most important aspect of any trading subject is market awareness. After that, you actually look into the volume, which I used 2 indicators for volume. Volume at price, which is the volume profile indicator, and volume candles, 2 of the things that I heavily depend on. The third thing is my session ranges, which is brought to us by Veteran Exotics, who is in the Discord. Fantastic trader, wealth of information. Highly recommend you learn from him. And then only after that, only after those 3 things, market awareness, volume analysis, and then the session ranges, only after that do you dig into your personal indicators. Mine are the EMAs. Only then, the EMAs, and then the squeeze momentum indicator, which you see on the bottom here, right here. Only then do you turn to your specific indicators, whether it be triangles or waves or whatever the crap may be, colorful stuff that you take your crayon and draw all over your chart. Have at it. Market awareness, volume analysis, session ranges, and then you go to your personal indicators. I digress. So anyway, how did I know when to take a position? I took a position at 9:51 a.m. Central Time, or at least that's when I posted in the Discord room that I took the position. So I would probably say anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds prior is when I took that position. And I went with the SPY July 14th, 436 calls on this particular day. Now, 951 on according to this chart is right here. So these are 3-minute candles. So it'd probably be somewhere in this area. What was I looking at to show that there's entry? Because nothing really changed. We already popped up once, and then we're popping up a second time. Volume is kind of not really going anywhere. It's kind of declining, increasing. It's all staying right here. How did I know when to take a position? Because I was monitoring the market, and I went with QQQ. There's QQQ. What happens right at, actually, let's get on the chart here. What happens right at 951? Well, bear, look at that. Big old green candle right outside their morning ranges here. So I was watering it. I saw the first candle come. I saw it get sold off, and bam, another one. Bam, another one. And 951. I also look at XLK. What happens at XLK? Right here at 939, 936, it starts taking off. Boom. So I know the tech sector is starting to have a lot of bullish indications here. Volume kind of picks up here a little bit, and then the QQQ right here, you can see the volume start to increase. Big green volume candle. Everything's starting to increase. So I see this bullish action coming here. SPY. And now here's the other indicator that really gave me conviction to why I take this position. I was monitoring VIX very closely, and the VIX is a huge part of my trading system. So at 951, and let's take a look here at 951, the price of the VIX was right here. It was currently trading at 1646 at the time. Or let's see, to go a little closer, 1649 at the time. And that puts me a little bit above support, and I knew we were going down to support, which is anywhere I kept saying 1612, which is the pivot, the latest pivot that I was looking at, but anywhere in this lower 16, 1608, 1615, I knew we had some ways to fall because VIX was falling down to support, and the support was right here, this lower 16. At the time, it had been falling all morning, and at 16 or at 940-ish level, it was at 1648. So I knew how we had some ways to fall. So with the big bullish influx coming into QQQ, with the propensity for VIX to fall down to support, which we still had about another 50 cents in VIX to fall, I elected to go ahead and take that position. I thought it was going to be a confident 10% win. I knew that momentum with the Qs would eventually bring SPY up in addition to a VIX falling. So I took a position, and I entered that in the Discord at 951, which is right here. And then I held on. Obviously, we had a little bit of sell here, 950. I think my position went red 3%. It was a negative 3% at the time. Obviously, no big deal. 3%, it doesn't phase me at all. And I'm waiting. And let's go toward into what caused me to hold this long term. Now, I see this candle gets wicked out. I got a little doji forming, and then boom, the green candle formed, and up we went here. Volume still staying the same. I don't really see much. The squeeze momentum indicator is black, so that means nothing's really coming on. And then I still look at the VIX. I see the VIX continue to fall. That's why it really gave me my confidence here. So 951 comes, here's 958, here's 10 o'clock, here's 10:07. Things are kind of trading sideways. I see the red candle form at 10:13, and then the VIX starts falling. So that's when I start getting, okay, I've got a 10% win. I've got a 15% win. I've got a 12% win. I remember coming up here at one point, I was, 23% win, and then the red candle form and 17% win. So what caused me to continue to hold this position? Well, I'm still watching QQQ. I'm watching the market continue to rage here. And now XLF had shown some weakness, and that's why I immediately went red 3%, because I took that position at 951, which is right here. XLF still went down. Once I saw XLF recover and come up, I knew with Qs increasing, with the XLF increasing now, it was going to continue to bring SPY up, which is exactly what it did. Now that XLF was participating in the bullishness, SPY is going to run a little bit more. And all I was doing is watching the volume. As long as I had commensurate volume, I was confident holding that position. So as the price was continuing on up, I saw the green candles continue to form. This big red candle formed, which concerned me at the time. But look what happened. Very, very small price movement on a very large, it was the second largest up to that point, the second largest red candle of the day. And it didn't move anywhere, which is a bullish indicator. When you have a large selling candle here and a very small price action, that's bullish. So, all right, okay, cool. That candle was immediately bought up. I'm still holding. The volume is continuing to increase. Look, increase on this candle. Still going up. Bullish sentiment is still there. The buyers are still in the game. Now, once we reach here, I saw this doji form, and I elected to exit. At the point, I was at a 30% win. I elected to exit at 1040, which is right here at that candle. I exited 75% of my position. Why did I do that? I took 75% off because that was a 30% win. It's a fantastic win. And volume I started to see here started to decline. I was watching the Qs at 1040, which is right here. They started to flatten out here. I saw this red candle form. The VIX at the time, let's take a look at the VIX at 1040. It was nearing the 619 level, so it was approaching the level that I thought, 618, 612, that lower 16 area. So I thought we might get a bounce off the POC and the support line. So I was like, conditions are right for this thing to maybe take some profits off the table here because things were starting to level out. So I elected to take 75% of position off the table. It was like a 29.2% win. I exited $1.46 from $1.13, which is approximately 29%. And then I elected to keep 25% on the table because although the conditions were right for things to start leveling out, I didn't see the selling volume come in yet. So I kept 25% still on the table. And I sold those at $1.51, which puts me at a 31% overall average win. And I exited those at $1.51. Now, why did I exit those? Because I saw these candles start to wick out. I saw the selling volume come up, and then at 1046 here on the Qs. Let's go back to the Qs here at 1046. This thing started to dip. So I started to see this thing level out and bounce off the POC. So I elected to go ahead and take everything off the table for that 30% win. And honestly, it turned out to be a fantastic decision because look what happens over the next, hour, 30 minutes to an hour, it just downtrended. And that was a fantastic play for me. So the biggest key here was volume. You can kind of see this increasing volume here, here, here. Watch the VIX. The VIX levels are very, very key when this thing's going to bounce. And then the other market Qs, which is QQQ and XLK, XLF. And that turned me to hold this on here with confidence. Not to mention, after all of that, I was watching the 8 EMA. The 8 EMA on the 5-minute chart and the 3-minute chart is very telling. It was bouncing all the way off to the top. And that was my last stance of confirmation before exiting the position. And then once I saw this thing start trending back to the EMAs, the VIX starting to bounce, I elected to close that position. Anyway, guys, that's really all I got for you. The cool, clean explanation. And luckily, the great thing about this trade is that it was streamed YouTube live. So if you want to go back to the day of July 9th and watch that, it's archived in my YouTube videos. You can watch that to watch that happen live to see my thought process as going. But it's a nice, cool, clean breakdown of what happened. It was an awesome example of a low stress, low emotion trade that I was very confident in getting that 30% monster win that really made my week. It just put a cherry on top of the entire week. I already had 2 awesome wins that week, and that was a final stake in the ground to finish the week out strong. And I ended up going on to make another 7% win that day too. So it was definitely a great week, great day to trade. But that's all I got. If you're new to the channel, please go over, join the Discord. I post all my trades live, or at least most of my trades live that are not too volatile because I don't want to get anybody smoked. And then I discuss everything in the room and the channels all day long to fit the needs of anybody's educational needs, and discuss that all day long. Like and subscribe to this channel because you'll get notifications for all educational content I'll be posting, as well as my live streams. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video to learn a little more something about some options trading and becoming financially independent. I'm Andrew, Options Millionaire. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate every one of you. I'm out. See you.